A foster couple from South Yorkshire have had 3 children removed from their care because they're members of the UK Independence Party. Rotherham Borough Council said it had taken the action because the siblings were not white British and it had concerns about the party's stance on immigration. UKIP described the decision as appalling. Kevin Keane has more details.
The unnamed couple told the Daily Telegraph that social workers had accused them of being members of a racist party after receiving a tip-off that they belonged to UKIP. The couple confirmed their membership of the party but said they were dumbfounded at the suggestion they were racist. Rotherham Borough Council told BBC News the decision to remove the children, whom it described as not Indigenous white British, was taken because of their needs longer term and that they were never at any risk. It said the concerns about UKIP related to its policies on immigration. The party's website states those policies involve freezing permanent immigration for 5 years and insisting that immigrants are fluent in English. The party leader Nigel Farage said the council had no understanding of UKIP and by their actions clearly no desire to know. The council says there's no blanket ban on UKIP members being foster parents and that this couple will be allowed to foster other children in the future.
As we heard in the news, a couple from Yorkshire say that 3 foster children were removed from their care because they were members of UKIP, and Rotherham Social Services considered some of the party's views unacceptable. Our reporter Kevin Keane is here. We can't name the couple because of the children, obviously, Kevin, but what does Rotherham Borough Council, through the Social Services Department, say in response to the accusation that the couple have made? It's on the front of the Telegraph.
Well, they say that actually everything that this couple says about the reasons why these children were taken away is correct, that it was taken purely because of them being members of UKIP. Just to kind of flesh out what happened, the couple received a visit from Social Services a couple of weeks ago. They'd had the children already for about sort of 6 weeks in September, and they said that they'd been tipped off that they were members of UKIP. They were coming to question them about it, and they confirmed that that was the case. Apparently one of the social workers described UKIP as a racist party, and the couple, they said that they were just dumbfounded by A, the suggestion that that was the case, and B, that they themselves were racist.
The idea that, they were tipped off they were members of UKIP makes it sound as if they were sort of practising black magic or something. You're not a member of a political party, a mainstream political party.
That's right. And indeed, the council said to me earlier this morning, the councillor who's the top of the tree in making this decision, that they indeed have no right to ask people what their political views are. But they said that these children are non-UK children, and they said that they made this decision because they said it was in the best interests of these children, and that's basically it.
But they also said that I think that the children, there was no reason to fear for the children's safety in any way. There was no other reason why the children might be taken away.
No, they said there was no risk to them at all, and you're right. It's purely based on what they describe as their stance on immigration. And I've looked at the party's website to see what their stance on immigration is, just to kind of clarify it, because obviously there are parties out there with very extreme views on immigration. So at the top of their list is a 5-year freeze on immigration, an insistence that immigrants can speak English and are financially self-supporting. But they do emphasise that they describe themselves as a non-racist party.
Indeed, and the leader, Nigel Farage, just said, and I quote him, the council and the panel clearly have no understanding of UKIP and by their actions clearly no desire to know. We'll hope to talk to him and also to the Strategic Director of Children and Young People Services at Rotherham later in the programme. Kevin, thank you.
Well, let's talk to Nigel Farage now on that story that 3 foster children have been removed from a couple in Rotherham because they are members of UKIP. I think we've got Mr Farage on the phone. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
What was your reaction when you heard this story?
Very upset and very angry, particularly for this couple involved who have been fostering for many years and are very decent people. And I mean, the awful shock to them of having these children removed, not to mention the upset for the children themselves. So that's my first and my primary concern. But politically, I'm afraid not surprised at all. This is typical of the kind of bigotry
Well, I'd just like to be clear that the children were placed there as an emergency placement, and it was never going to be a long-term placement for the children. And also the fact of the matter is that I have to look at the children's cultural and ethnic needs. The children had been in care proceedings before, and the judge had previously criticised us for not looking after the children's cultural and ethnic needs, and we've had to really take that into consideration with the placement that they were in.
What does the couple's politics have to do with it?
Well, the couple's politics, is an issue. It's a practice issue. It is not a political decision that's been taken here. It's
Why
a
were they
practice
asked?
matter.
Why were they asked who they voted for, or what party they belonged to?
They weren't asked. That's the issue. They weren't asked. I have no right to ask anyone what the political dealings are. That's usually something that comes up when we are placing children in appropriate settings for them.
Well, I'm sorry, can I interrupt here? I think you said last night there are some strong views in the UKIP party and we have to think of the future of the children. Did you say that?
I said that some of the issues around multiculturalism, UKIP, we have to bear that into mind about the placement of children.
Do you ask,
for example,
do you ask your staff how they vote?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because at the end of the day, they are working in a service, and it's not a political. Some posts are politically restricted.
Precisely. And how they vote has nothing to do with it, but they're dealing with very, very sensitive matters involving children. And you do not think that it's appropriate to ask them how they vote. Why are these people being denied the right, and apparently in other respects, you have found them very suitable foster parents? Why should their membership of a mainstream political party cause these children to be taken away?
Well, let's be absolutely clear, like I said at the start. This was never going to be a long-term
clear, but that's one thing
placement.
you haven't been. Could you be clear now, please?
I am quite clear. The children were placed there as an emergency placement. The couple themselves were always aware it was never going to be a long-term placement. And, we have to make sure that I have legal advice I have to follow for the placement of children. And I was criticised before for not making sure their cultural and ethnic needs were met. And I have to take that into consideration again going forward.
Their cultural and ethnic needs, does that have anything to do with how the parents vote?
Absolutely not. But as I say, that's that fine balance between a practice matter that we've had to take. It wasn't an easy decision to take, I can assure you. It was part of a planned move. So the children were always going to be moved on to another longer-term placement.
But why is the issue of their membership of a political party involved in that decision?
Well, I have to think about the needs. If the party mantra is, for example, ending the active promotion of multiculturalism, I have to think about that. These children are not local children to Rotherham. It's not through any fault of their own that they're there, and they're in a very difficult situation. So I have to think about their longer-term needs.
Do you proceed from the assumption, which is very strongly denied by UKIP, that it is a racist party?
I've never said it's a racist party. I wouldn't say that either. They have.
You wouldn't say that.
clear
You
views on
don't believe
immigration
that. You don't believe that.
No, I don't think they're a racist party. No, I think they're very clear views on immigration and very clear policies. And I have to just take all those factors into account.
Yes, as you know, there are people with very strong views on immigration in every political party.
Yes, absolutely. And I take each case and each placement for children on its merits.
Do you regret this decision at all?
No, I don't regret the decision. I think I had no choice in the matter in terms of how to go forward. As I say, it's something we took a lot of advice on. We did a lot of soul searching about it because I have to think about the needs of the children first. That's my job as the Strategic Director of Children's Services in the borough. I have to think of the needs of children first.
Joyce Thacker, thank you.